Cynthia Kadohata. Cynthia Kadohata is a second-generation Japanese American. She was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1956. Even though she was born in Chicago, most of her childhood was spent on the road. They moved from Illinois to Arkansas, then to Georgia, Michigan, and then back to Chicago. When Cynthia was 15, the family finally settled in Los Angeles, California. By then, her parents were divorced and had established different households. Her mother was a homemaker who eventually earned a degree in sociology, and her father was a chicken sexer at a poultry plant. Her early influences were Charlotte's Web by E.B. White and White Fang by Jack London. Although she enjoyed reading, she had no interest in writing. Cynthia Kadohata received a Bachelor of Arts degree in journalism from the University of Southern California. After graduation, when she was 21, Cynthia had a terrible accident. While walking down a street in Los Angeles, a car jumped the curb and barreled into her. She had a broken collarbone and a severely damaged right arm. During her recovery, she moved to Boston, Massachusetts to live with her sister. During this time, she rediscovered her love of reading. She eventually began writing her own stories and submitting them to national magazines, including The Atlantic and The New Yorker. Her first story featured a world of one-legged ducks. While submitting stories, Cynthia continued to take classes at New York's Columbia University. In 1992, her next novel, In the Heart of the Valley of Love, is published. In this story, the main character is a 19-year-old girl of mixed Asian and African background whose arm is crushed during an accident. In 1989, The Floating World was published. The narrator of The Floating World is a 12-year-old Japanese-American girl named Olivia. Olivia and her family moved throughout the United States the years following World War II. Olivia grows up in close quarters and under her watchful eyes of her parents because the family does everything together. The family does eventually leave the floating world of gas stations, motels, and truck stops to settle down permanently in Arkansas, where Olivia finally is in a stable home and has the freedom to grow up. In 2004, Kita Kita was released. The story focuses on a 10-year-old little girl named Katie, who is a first-generation Japanese American. The biggest problem that Katie faces is watching her older sister Lynn struggle with cancer. The girls are particularly very close. Lynn taught Katie her first word, kita kita, which means glittering. On January 17, 2005, it was announced that Kita Kita had won the 2005 John Barry Award. In 2007, she won the Jane Addams Peace Award for Wheat Flour. Wheat Flour is set in early December of 1941. It is about a 12-year-old girl named Sumiko. Sumiko is invited to a classmate's birthday party and is later turned away. Later, Sumiko's parents die and she is placed with relatives. When the United States declares war on Japan, her and her brother are sent to an internment camp. It is there that she proves that in the human spirit, as in nature, nothing and no one is a weed. The Jane Addams Children's Book Awards are given annually to the children's books published the preceding year that effectively promote the cause of peace, social justice, world community, and the equality of the sexes and all races, as well as meeting conventional standards for excellence. Other books written by Cynthia Kadohata are Cracker, A Million Shades of Grey, and Outside Beauty. Although Cynthia loves to travel, visiting schools and libraries across the United States, she must limit herself. In 2004, she adopted her son, Sammy. She continues to live in Los Angeles with her babies, Shika, her purebred Doberman, and her son, Sammy.